Manga-Waido.
My name is Naoki Kayama. After graduating from university, I work for a medium-sized restaurant chain, and I'm currently the manager of one of the restaurants. Our company gives us a lot of freedom, but other than that, it is quite rough. The pay is low and the holidays are few. I guess someone like me in his 40s should just be grateful to have a place to work during these bad economic times. But of course, it's rewarding to see customers enjoying their meal at our restaurant. When the staff is working energetically and lively, it cheers me up too. The little happiness I find in my daily life is what makes my life worth living. Then one day, something happened. I went to work at the restaurant as usual that day and received a call from the head office. It was the usual area manager, but how come he called me to the head office instead of coming to the restaurant? I wonder what it is. Did I do something wrong? I went to the head office with a sense of fear and found Usagi, the manager, and his subordinate waiting for me.
I see your restaurant is seeing an uptick in sales.
I wiped the sweat off my face with my handkerchief, relieved. Yes, thanks to the hard work of all the staffs.
I see. You're giving them time off in violation of company rules to boost morale?
When changing public holidays, you must always notify the head office. How do you explain your failure to do so? I was at a loss for a response. Since it is a restaurant, the staff usually takes days off on weekdays. Therefore, if they need to take a day off on weekends for weddings, funerals, etc., they are supposed to take a paid leave. However, since it is difficult to take paid holidays for anything in our tough company, we had to change the desired day and the official holiday day if offered. Normally, this should be reported to the head office, but it was also an unspoken on-site rule from the previous manager. However, I dared not report it because it was an unspoken on-site rule from the previous manager. And if my superiors knew about it, they would complain not only to me, but to the staff members as well. That's why they pointed out to me.
And what do you think about the fact that you're providing a service that's not included in the manual?
I tilted my head as I couldn't recollect that right away.
You let our customers use one of the private rooms for free, which includes an extra charge.
Well, the customer's baby started crying during the meal, so the customer got concerned and tried to leave in the middle of the meal. So we let them use the private room. The rule is that you have to pay for the room. The managers of the other restaurants claim that once you start doing that, you might get customers who try to use the private room for free in other restaurants. I couldn't bear to burden the young couple who had come for their wedding anniversary, so I offered them a private room that was available. But I didn't think they would understand.
Anyway, this case is your responsibility. The private room fee will be deducted from your salary. Staff member who switched their days off will be given a severe warning.
No, but...
That's it! You may step down.
I was kicked out of the room without being allowed to argue. As long as you're a member of a company organization, the company's rules are absolute. You cannot disobey your boss's orders, even if it is unreasonable. I just have to adjust. One day, when I was feeling down telling myself this, an elderly female customer fell down in the restaurant. The restaurant had a step that we had been concerned about for some time, so asked the head office to repair it, but they refused, saying they could not come up with a budget for it. When we reported the accident to the head office, the person in charge of accidents at the head office came and checked the site. He found no fault on the part of the restaurant and left. However, I was concerned, so I went to visit the woman on my way home from work. A few days later, Usagi and his subordinate came to the store without notice.
I came to see the face of someone who can't follow the company rules.
By that you mean?
I heard that you went out of your way to visit them even though head office found no fault.
That's...
We don't need someone who goes against the company. You don't need to come in here from the next month.
What? Wait! He turned his back and walked out as soon as he said that. And so, I was fired from the company. It's not so easy for a guy in his 40s with a family to change jobs. When I was having a hard time, my wife's parents approached me to start some kind of business using the land and building they own in the suburbs. There's no point in dwelling on it. I'll just take it as a good opportunity to quit the awful company. With my wife's encouragement, I decided to open a Western-style restaurant, a dream of mine since I was young. It was only a short drive from my former company as well. I knew the area, and I might be able to make it work. One day, while I was working hard on preparations, renovating the restaurant, and filing the necessary paperwork, I received a call from an unexpected person.
That's so cold of you, manager!
Reika-san! Her name is Reika, and she was a chef at the last restaurant until a few years ago. She was well known not only for her cooking skills, but also for her likable personality. Sorry, it was a sudden turn of events for me too.
I hear it was a sudden dismissal. That's fine, but if you don't mind, I'd like to work at your store, Kayama-san.
What? I was surprised, but to be honest, I would gladly do anything for her to come.
Also, Yuiko-san said she'd be happy to help you here too.
Yuiko was a staff who worked at the last restaurant as well. She was a very caring girl. I was just thinking of recruiting some staff. I'd love to have you. And so I was able to start work with 2 former staff members who could do the job. And the opening day arrived with a sense of optimism. The restaurant of my dreams started off smoothly with the help of the staff who knew what they were doing. The restaurant's creed is to serve delicious food at reasonable prices while maintaining a peaceful and relaxing atmosphere. That's what we stand for. And hello! Oh, you came!
Long time no see, manager. Oh, wow. What a nice place.
This is also a staff member from our previous restaurant. He invited his friend to come today. Thank you so much. Coworkers from my former workplace came to the restaurant one after another, bringing their friends with them. At lunchtime, many people who lived in the area gathered here as well, and it was hectic. We're really lucky to be located in a place with no other competition.
I'll help you out.
It was one of my former coworkers who was here as a customer. Sorry about that.
What are you talking about? You've been a great help to me, so let me do this.
The restaurant became more and more lively as people gathered inside. I glanced outside and saw a man peering into the store from a short distance away. I wonder if it's hard for him to come in since it's mostly people I know. Despite my concern, the man was opening his phone and quickly walked away.
Manager, how about this for today's menu?
The memo that Reiko-san showed me was full of names of delicious-looking dishes. Great! I'm sure the customers will enjoy this. On this day, the restaurant had a reservation for a private party, with a course for 20 people, and Chef Reika was getting excited.
It's a little over our budget, though.
That's fine. Right now, reputation comes first before money. Let's make our customers happy.
Yes!
The two of them eagerly began preparations for the evening. But
They're late. Shall I call?
the customer didn't show up even after the reserved time. Let's wait a little bit longer. Half an hour later, there was still no sign of the customer.
I'll call.
Yuiko's face turns grim as she grabs the phone.
Oh, they seem to have their phone turned off.
Maybe there's something going on. Let's wait. However, even after that, we were unable to contact them, and in the end, the reservation was canceled without notice. And the next day, Yuiko raised her voice in front of the computer.
How awful!
I looked at the screen and saw that our restaurant had been heavily criticized on one of the review sites.
This is all a lie!
Indeed, there was a list of things that I had no recollection of.
Maybe it's someone trying to harass us after what happened yesterday.
While Reika-san and I were talking, Yuiko continued to look at the computer.
This person.
Yuiko was looking at the 10 footprints of the people who wrote reviews.
These are mostly stores near my old office. Plus,
Yuiko hesitantly said,
it's the restaurant the manager invited me to. What do you mean?
Yuiko told me that Usugi had asked her out to dinner several times at her former company. She didn't expect it to be one-on-one, so she took Usugi up on his offer. After that, she was persistently followed by Usugi and went along with him several times. The restaurant he visited on those occasions was marked by his footprints. Just then, the door opened. It was Mayumi, a former coworker of mine who had been coming in lately.
Is lunch over already? Uh-huh. What's with the gloomy look on everyone's faces?
After explaining the situation, she looked into the computer.
Huh? Wait a minute.
She pulls out her phone.
I knew it. Look at this.
The photo she showed me on her line was the exact same landscape as the harassing reviewer.
This. It belongs to Uesugi-san. I was sexually harassed by him. And he halfway forced me to exchange a line with him.
Really? Why is the manager harassing such a small store like this?
Manager, you really are naive, aren't you? That old manager has been very jealous of you for your popularity for a long time.
What? Me? Popular?
You didn't realize that, huh? Anyway, manager, I have an idea. Will you let me handle it?
Okay, but, what recourse do you have? After listening to Reika-san's plan, we all looked at each other and nodded slowly. A week later, at exactly 7 p.m., a woman walked into the restaurant.
Hello, my name is Mayumi Hasegawa, and I made a reservation. Oh, manager.
A muggy shadow comes in from behind her.
Is this your store? Make sure you serve me well.
I invite them to a seat in the back and left them alone for a while. Then Mayumi gives me a look. I connect my eyes with Yuiko as she approaches Usagi with a wooden bottle. Usagi, oblivious to this, was struggling to seduce Mayumi.
It's nice to be able to go on a date with a pretty lady like you.
Oh, you said the same thing to me.
Yuiko said as she poured a glass of water.
What?
Usagi noticed Yuiko and winced for a moment, but...
How rude to the customer!
You said you wanted to be with me forever, didn't you?
Usagi turns around and the woman sitting in the back smiles at him.
Right?
No idea! What's wrong with you all? Kayama, do something!
Reika-san, who was in the kitchen, stepped forward in front of Usagi for me.
It's been a while.
Reika!
You really haven't changed, have you? When I was your subordinate, you sexually harassed me a lot. And when the company was about to find out, you transferred me to a different department and pretended not to know. I was young, and there was nothing I could do. So I cried myself to sleep.
I have no idea! That's a lie!
A lie? We have all these witnesses here.
Witnesses? You're not telling me that the company...
We've got you on our security cameras. We could file a complaint against you to the headquarters anytime.
Usagi loses his balance and stumbles to the floor.
I'm sorry! Please don't do that, please!
All those reviews. It's you, isn't it? First of all, take that down. Also, you were the one who made the reservation for the 20 people, right?
Usagi remained looking down.
Same-day cancellations will be charged 100% of the fee. Please pay up exactly.
Usagi walked out of the restaurant after I made him pay all the money he had in lieu of a deposit. After that day, the harassment stopped. According to what I heard, Usagi's power harassment and sexual harassment became a problem within the company, and he was forced to leave the company. I heard that his colleagues who remained at his former company found it easier to work. After that, Usagi returned to his hometown, but a former subordinate in another department sued him for power harassment. The word spread in his hometown, and he was unable to get a new job, let alone leave his house. I felt a little bit sorry for him, but he deserved everything he got. He should reflect on his actions at the very least.
Manager, we're opening for lunch.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm working happily as usual, serving delicious food. Hope I get to see the smiles on the customers' faces today, too.
My name is Takashi Saiki. I'm a single father of a daughter. I raised my daughter with all the love I could, including love for my wife, who lost her life after a difficult delivery. However, raising a child cannot be done on love alone. I worked hard so that my motherless daughter would not have to be poor. The daughter I raised with such care is now going out into the world as a working adult. The past 20-odd years have flown by so fast. Today, I promised to go out to dinner to celebrate my daughter's employment. I was on the train to go to the restaurant I made a reservation for. And then...
Hey, old man, watch where you're going. And then, the release of the premiere series. It was so crazy.
Hey, you guys!
Huh? What do you want?
Not even a word after bumping into me?
Huh? Stop complaining. I mean, what's up with that wallet? It's in shreds. He doesn't even have the money to buy a new one.
I pointed my wallet and burst into laughter. The guys are probably the same age as my daughter, or older. They were dressed in suits, but they didn't look like working people or job hunters. They had bright heads of hair. I gave them a glare. Listen! Waido Station! Waido Station!
Oh, we're here! Yusuke-san! Yeah. What's wrong with that guy?
The guys got off the train quickly. Oh, there's some terrible young people out there. I wanted to say something else, but I didn't want to get into an argument and make my daughter wait. I sighed in resignation, took a moment, and got off the train at the same station.
Oh, Dad! I'm so excited I came early. Come on, let's go in.
Manami, you're early. My daughter urges me into the high-end sushi restaurant where I had made a reservation. My daughter was the one who chose the restaurant. My daughter loves sushi, and that hasn't changed.
Welcome.
Hello.
Ah, Saiki-san. We've been expecting you. This way, please.
The restaurant is peaceful. Not many customers yet. I made a reservation to avoid the busy time of day, and it was a good decision. The chef guides us to our seats at the counter.
I haven't been here in a while.
We haven't been here since your coming-of-age celebration. You really like the sushi here, don't you?
Yeah.
As we were enjoying our time together as a family, a new customer arrived.
This restaurant is fine, right? I want to eat sushi anyway.
Welcome. 2 people?
Yeah.
This way, please. From the sound of their voices, they seemed young. The duo seemed to have been guided to a counter seat a little farther away.
Ha! With today's win, we made up for the loss the other day. Today's on me. Eat as much as you want. Thank you. I've never been to such a high-end sushi place before. I thought so. Well, I'll teach you the art of sushi etiquette. That's what I'm talking about!
This voice.
The restaurant is so empty. Huh? Hey, look! It's that old man! Whoa, you're right!
I had a bad feeling about this and glanced over to see the guys who were on the train earlier. Although we got off at the same station, I didn't think we had the same destination. It is not my lucky day. The guys were whispering about us, but it was in a quiet restaurant. I have good ears so I could hear everything they were saying.
Poor guy with a shabby wallet comes to a fancy sushi place like this. Wait, he's with a girl. Maybe he's her sugar daddy. He's trying to look good for the young girl.
Dad, do you know these people?
No. Not that I know them, but it's just... This is bad. I can't let these guys interfere with our celebration. I'm sorry, Manami. Shall we switch restaurants?
It's fine. I wanted to eat sushi here. Just ignore them. All right, Chef, let's get started.
Okay, what would you like today?
Oh, Dad, what should we do?
Let's see. The usual, then.
Aye. Is he talking about omakase?
They continued to talk about us at a decent volume.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's the sea bass. Hey, look! That's some poor guy's sushi!
You guys, the chef must have heard the guys' conversation. He tried to warn them, but... Chef, I don't want to cause trouble here. There are other customers, too.
If you say so, Saiki-san.
He seemed unhappy, but he accepted what I said.
Can I go for the fatty tuna?
Yeah, I want some too. Chef, 4 fatty tuna and 4 medium fatty tuna each.
Aye.
No! Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Sushi is all about the tuna.
Ooh, it's delicious.
After that, the guys ordered a number of high-end items and made a lot of noise.
Next, sea urchins and shrimp too.
Are you sure you can afford it?
Don't worry. Even that poor guy can afford to come here. That's true, but I'm getting full. I ordered too much. I'll just leave the rice.
Yusuke-san, you're extravagant.
Manami and I eat a few slices of seasonal sushi with the ill-mannered guys by our side.
The compio was delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Eating Compilation at the end, it's not even fish. They probably didn't have enough to eat and just ordered something cheap. How miserable.
By the end, the guys were talking about all kinds of things, making fun of us. I decided not to care, but it was indeed unpleasant. I felt bad for my daughter, so I got up from my seat. Manami, let's get going. Chef, thank you very much for our food. Thank you very much. Please, come again.
No way! They're leaving already? You better pay up. I think they eat and drink without paying.
I could have ignored the guys who were loudly insulting me, but my pride wouldn't allow me to be called a thief. That's right, I'm not paying.
Huh?
The guy's eyes go black and white to my unexpected response.
I knew it! They're eating and drinking without paying! Chef, you should call the cops on them!
I couldn't help but burst out laughing when I saw the guys making a big fuss. So be it. Shall I pay? No. Today is a celebration for the owner's daughter. We can't let you pay today.
The owner? This guy?
Yes, I own several restaurants, including this place. I can't make sushi myself, but my daughter's favorite food is sushi. So I wanted to have a sushi restaurant where we could come anytime. We not only operate sushi places, but also restaurants, sweet stores, and so on. It's advantageous for the company to handle different kinds of foodstuffs.
No way! He's using a raggedy wallet! There's no way he owns a high-end restaurant like this!
What raggedy wallet? Dad, you still use that?
Of course. It's a precious treasure that you gave me for Father's Day when you were still little. The owner is truly devoted to his daughter. The atmosphere of the place was just starting to turn peaceful, but the guys were still complaining. Guys, that's enough! I didn't say anything because Saga-san stopped me, but I can't take it anymore.
What do you want?
Coming without a reservation and smelling like perfumes and cigarettes? You don't even know the custom of serving seasonal sushi, but you act like you do! You were making fun of the Compio rolls earlier, weren't you? Compio is one of those sushi dishes where you can tell the skill of the craftsman. It's very deep. Besides, it's common knowledge that that roll is a sign of the end of the meal. Speaking of common senses, in order to enjoy sushi to the end, it's customary to start with the plain ones. Instead, you ordered the fatty ones right from the beginning, smearing it in soy sauce. On top of all that, you only eat the fish and leave the rice, which is the most outrageous thing you can do! Don't underestimate a sushi restaurant! I've never seen the chef so angry. Those guys must have been embarrassed after all that behavior and quickly started to pack their bags.
Enough! I'll never come back here again! How much is the bill?
100,000.
100,000?!
It's no surprise. They ordered a number of high-end dishes in rapid succession. That was still cheap if you ask me.
Damn! It's too expensive. There's no way I have enough. What? I heard it was on you today, so I didn't bring it either.
Eat and run? That's no good.
Damn it! Making fun of me?
The guy starts to lash out and come after me.
You guys are in on it, trying to con me! That's a scam! Bastards!
They're probably burnt out from embarrassment and misery. Chef, that's enough. Hey! Go after them! The chef immediately sent his apprentice running to the neighborhood police station, and not long after, a policeman arrived. By the time he finished telling police what had happened, the guy had calmed down a bit. If you don't pay anything, you'll get arrested for eating and drinking without paying. Call your family and get them to pay.
Fine. I don't have to pay, so I'm going home.
The guy reluctantly called his parents, and then someone arrived who appeared to be the guy's father.
Why is Seke-san here? What? Father? Don't tell me you know him. What are you talking about? He's the owner of an important business to us!
It's a small world. It just so happens that he's the business partner of my restaurant. I was surprised. When I told him what happened, the guy's father went red and became furious.
What have you done? You stupid idiot!
The guy finally gave up after being yelled at by his father and got down on his knees crying.
I'm sorry. I will talk sternly to my son, so please, give him a break. I will apologize from my side as well.
Although it was a very unpleasant dinner, it wasn't like I was injured. They even paid for our meal, so I decided to forgive them for getting down on their knees. Just this once.
Thank you very much. Come on, you say thank you too. Thank you very much.
The problem was resolved once and for all, so we didn't file a damage report with the police, and the case was dismissed. But unluckily for that father and son, the whole thing was apparently captured on video by a passerby. The video of the father and son on their knees in the presence of a policeman was spread on social media. Furthermore, other customers who were there testified about the whole thing and went up in flames. The guy is now being shunned, even by his only friend, who is a junior. And when he walks down the street, he gets pointed at behind his back, as that guy on his hands and knees in the video. I heard from his father at work that after the incident, his son seemed to have changed and continued to job search diligently, but couldn't get a job due to the video. In today's world, you never know where people's eyes will be. Can't do anything wrong. A few days later, I'm sorry I ruined the celebration the other night. Can we go out to dinner again? Where would you like to go? I was afraid she didn't want to go out to eat with me anymore, but
I want to go to the sushi restaurant then.
apparently, my daughter didn't care. I chuckled at the fact that she had grown up to be a woman with a big heart.
My name is Yusuke Suzuki, 26 years old. After graduating from university, I managed to get into the company of my first choice. The work was hard, but it was my dream to work here. This place is what is called a high-class Western-style restaurant. It is a restaurant that has been loved by the locals for a long time. It is operated by a subsidiary of a major food chain which now has about 5 restaurants across the country. And there's a reason why I joined the company and wanted to work here.
Suzuki, serve this to the customer over there.
What? But they didn't order it.
It's okay. I think it's that girl's birthday today.
Okay! Osugi-san, the manager, is the reason I wanted to work here. He treated all customers with kindness and equality. All the staff members respectfully refer to the family manager as Sugi-san, and I was deeply smitten by Sugi-san too. When I was still in high school, I once came to this restaurant to celebrate my grandmother's release from the hospital. I could not forget Sugi-san's touching hospitality even as an adult. However, there came a time when Sugi-san was finally retiring. Sugi-san, please come back again.
Of course, Suzuki. I have high expectations for you. Everyone, I'm hoping for the best.
Sugi-san's words strongly touched the hearts of all the staff. We were determined to make the restaurant even more prosperous than before under the new manager, who would be coming to the restaurant. But...
So, from today, Baba will be the manager here.
Yes, nice to meet you all.
I have high expectations for you, Baba.
Leave it to me, President Tanabe. I'll revolutionize this restaurant. A few days later, the president brought in a new manager, Baba. Seeing the two of them, all I could feel was some kind of an uneasiness. And this prediction came true. May I offer a cake to the child at table 4?
Huh? Why?
It's his birthday. I just wanted to make sure he's happy.
What are you talking about? Are you going to serve a cake that wasn't even ordered?
The previous manager was always providing these services.
You know, I'm the manager now. And table 4 only orders single items, right? It's not profitable for us, so just let those poor people go home.
What?
Efficiency! You know!
I found out in a few days that Baba only deals with so-called wealthy customers. Although we all managed to cover for him so as not to be rude to our customers, there were times where we couldn't keep up with it, to be honest. Such arrogance was also directed at us, the employees. Hey, Suzuki! I told you to take out the trash! Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, the educated ones can take a break now. Employees were also discriminated based on their education background and appearance, and he would change his attitudes blatantly. This did not sit well with the employees who were given preferential treatment. Baba's attitude continued to worsen, but no one could talk back. Even if you want to accuse Baba, he was President Tanabe's favorite. He wouldn't listen even if you told him. Then one day, Sugi-san showed up at the restaurant for the first time in a while. Everyone rushed to see Sugi-san, who had arrived a little before the restaurant opened out of consideration. Sugi-san, you came!
Yeah, I missed the restaurant after all. Are you guys doing well?
Yes.
What's the matter, guys? You don't look so good.
Well,
Oh, is it the common manager? So you're the new manager, Baba.
yes. It's gonna take a lot of work to change this place that's so steeped in your old-fashioned ways.
Change? What are you going to change?
The clientele! Thanks to you, this restaurant's brand is in ruins because you've been catering to the poor. From now on, you have to deal with the wealthy to survive. It's marketing! Do you understand?
Is that what the top wants?
Yes! This is also the will of President Tanabe. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I already quit.
Oh, you're right! Please leave then. What? Might as well eat since you're here. What are you talking about? How can an old man with a pension pay for our food? Well then, please go away and leave us to prepare. Sugi-san, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Suzuki. You don't have to apologize. Anyway, I'm going home today. You're opening soon, right?
But... So Sugi-san left. Seeing his lonely back, I felt anger towards Baba. If things continued as they were, this restaurant that Sugi-san had been protecting would be destroyed. While feeling impatient, Baba's arrogance was increasing day by day. One day, on a weekend, one elderly man came to the restaurant. He probably had a reservation. He must be a customer. I tried to respond immediately, but Baba went to the entrance before I could. I thought he was unusually fast at his work. Yamamoto-san, I'm sorry, but we don't have such an appointment.
What? I called around noon 3 days ago.
3 days ago? Yes, but I don't have a name.
That's not possible.
I couldn't believe my ears. It was me, of all people, who took the call from Yamamoto-san for an appointment around noon 3 days ago. Manager! What is it? This person. I'm pretty sure Ow! I'm sorry, but it looks like you don't have a reservation after all. By the way, which course did you intend to reserve?
The silver course for what?
That course is actually no longer available.
What?
The silver course is a reasonably priced course developed by Sugi-san to make it easier for elderly people to come alone. This has always been popular with many customers, and Yamamoto-san had indeed booked this course. It was a complete lie that it was gone. Besides, we don't allow customers who we deem unsuitable to use our restaurant.
Not suitable?
Yes, we are an authentic high-end restaurant. It's not a place for ordinary people to come with their heels in the sand.
Huh?
So, please leave for today. Well, please come again when you raise your standard of living. Then Yamamoto-san rounded his back and left. I wanted to go after the customer, but the manager caught me immediately. Don't say unnecessary things. I told you, didn't I? We only deal with the wealthy. But, no buts! From now on, refuse all those who book cheap courses. Alright? Alright. Get back to work. I hated to follow Baba's orders, but there were other customers waiting. I reluctantly went back to work. I'm at the end of my rope. After an hour when the restaurant had settled down, I thought about telling him, I can't work for you! I quit! And went up to him. At that moment,
Baba! Is Baba here? Boss? Well, what's the matter all of a sudden? Did an old man come here alone at 10 o'clock?
Yes, he did. A miserable old man alone.
That's it! What city is he in?
No, I sent him home.
What? You sent him home? You actually sent him home?
Yes, was that bad?
Bad? That's horrible! We gotta go right now!
Go where?
To go after him! I'll do whatever it takes! I'll bribe him if I have to!
President, looking very pale, pulled Baba's hand and left. We stood there for a while, not knowing what just happened. But we couldn't hold back. After that, we continued business without the manager. But the restaurant ran smoothly than usual and closed without incident. In the end, Baba and the president did not return that day. The next day, we were called into the restaurant earlier than usual. We were all nervous about what was about to happen.
Sorry to have to get you all in here.
This person, the man who came in, was the president of our restaurant's parent company. Last time I saw his face was at the group-wide initiation ceremony. I was nervous, but the president of the parent company said something unexpected.
In conclusion, I decided to fire the manager, Baba, and the president, Tanabe.
What?
Are there any objections at this time? Doesn't look like it. Okay, you two can come in. Do either of you have any last words? Nothing. Fine. I will make a decision in a few days as to how this company and this restaurant will be managed, and will contact you shortly. Until then, I ask everyone to hang in there. I've heard that the employees here are trustworthy. Can you all handle it?
Yes!
All right. I'm counting on you. All right, you two. That's all. What? Are you against firing them?
No, I'm all for that, but why all of a sudden?
It was that customer named Yamamoto from yesterday. That was an undercover investigator I arranged.
An undercover investigator? According to what the president said afterwards, just as Baba was about to turn away Yamamoto-san, or the investigator, our president Tanabe was reporting on this restaurant to the president of the parent company. Tanabe lied and said, "We're doing very well." The president was dismayed by Tanabe's lie and told him that he got a report from the investigator that he received unbelievable treatment. And the president came to the restaurant as fast as he could. And the one who advised the president to investigate?
It's Osugi-san, the former manager of this place.
Sugi-san! I guess he couldn't keep quiet because of Baba's attitude when he showed up the other day.
In fact, sales at this restaurant had been decreasing since the manager changed. I didn't hear any complaints, so I assumed it was temporary. But it seems that Baba and Tanabe had been working together to cover up all the complaints, and we found out that we had received a considerable amount.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not the one you should be apologizing to, right?
I'm so sorry! Thus, Baba and Tanabe disappeared from the restaurant. The restaurant had to run without a manager for the next few days, but to be honest, it was better without them. The president has been very supportive, and we got through this without any major problem.
You all did a great job. Thank you. So, now that we have a new president for the store, I'd like to introduce you all to him.
Sugi-san!
Long time no see, guys. I asked him to do something for me. He'll be in charge of all the stores, not just this one. Thank you, boss. You're such an old wimp. What are you talking about? You're the one who boosted the sales of this restaurant, which was said to be in the disadvantage due to its location. No. Thanks to all the staff and customers.
Seems that the president and Sugi-san had been friends for a long time, and they were talking amicably. Anyway, we were happy to have Sugi-san back here.
So, about the manager.
Oh,
For the time being, we will make Sugi-san the president and manager. But Sugi-san is getting old, so within a year, I'll be choosing a manager from among the current employees. Age and education are irrelevant. It will be decided by the contribution to the store. You don't have to be so tense. Just work it here as you always have done, putting the customer first.
yes! And so we tried our best to provide hospitality to our customers even more than before. Gradually, former regulars returned, and the old friendly atmosphere returned to the restaurant. And a few years later, that man came back to the restaurant. Please let me work here again. Apparently, Baba has moved from job to job since then. None of them lasted long. I'm really sorry. I'll start part-time, please.
Manager, what should we do?
What? Manager?
Manager?
It's
what
been a
should we
while,
do?
Baba. I'm the manager now.
Suzuki! No, Suzuki-san! Please give me another chance!
I see. I appreciate your apology.
Then...
However, we are an authentic high-end restaurant. We don't need people who judge people by their looks and income in a high-class restaurant.
No!
You should go to a place that's more suitable for you and change your mind once again. Please leave.
Please do something about that! Suzuki! No! Suzuki-san!
If you stay any longer, shall I report you to the police for obstruction? After I said that, Baba slumped his shoulders and staggered out. All right, we've been interrupted, but let's get ready to open. I can't help but feel sorry for Baba his age, but he deserved it. I guess he'll have to change his mind and start over somewhere else. I will continue to protect this restaurant as the manager, for the employees and for the customers.
My name is Yumiko Nakano. 2 years after her son Yamato was born, I found out that my husband was having an affair. After paying alimony, my husband disappeared with his partner and I lost contact with him. It was my father who supported me in my shock with young Yamato in my arms.
I know what it's like to raise a child alone. It was the same when Yoko passed away a long time ago.
Dad, Yoko is my mother. She passed away in an accident.
Don't worry. I'll take Yamato's place as his father.
Thanks, I'll do my best. Fortunately, I found a full-time job and my mom friends were supportive, which helped me move forward little by little. Yamato was growing up good too.
Look! I got 8s in Japan and math on my report card!
Oh, good job!
You've been studying a lot.
Even my teacher gave me a compliment.
I see. Let's go out for sushi as a reward.
Yeah, I love sushi!
But Yamato, who had been an honest and good boy, gradually became rough when he entered junior high school.
I told you I don't need lunch!
But you'll get hungry, right?
I'll buy it at the store! It's embarrassing to be poor.
Yamato! Don't say that!
Shut up! Don't tell me what to do!
With my father's salary and mine combined, we were never poor. But for an adolescent boy, having a single parent can make you feel inferior.
He's an adolescent. Let's leave him be.
I know that, but...
You just need to be there for Yamato when he needs it.
But then an incident occurred that changed this attitude. When Yamato was in 8th grade, a neighborhood convenience store called him in saying they caught Yamato for shoplifting. I rushed over, but... What? It was a mistake?
I am so sorry.
After a detailed check of the security cameras, it was the other girl who was with him who did it, and Yamato didn't take anything. After receiving an apology from the store, I did not make any more trouble.
I stopped the other guy when he tried to get away without paying the bill.
That's what the manager said.
I'm not hanging out with those guys anymore.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
I'm sorry. You were working, right?
It's okay. It's for Yamato's sake.
Thanks.
Yamato then gradually returned to a calmer disposition. After high school, he went to a technical school and got a job working with computers. I heard it's called a programmer, but I don't know too much about it. But seeing Yamato happily going to work was a relief in itself. It was 2.5 years after he started working when he said, "There's someone I'd like to introduce to you." I was surprised, and so was my father, but I replied, of course. On Saturday, Yamato brought an incredibly beautiful woman.
My name is Sumire Okamoto. I am dating Yamato-san.
Nice to meet you. I am Yamato's mother. Pleased to meet you. More than just her pretty looks, Sumire had a very kind and gentle personality. She's also a returnee from abroad and speaks fluent English. Who would have thought my child, who was so small, would bring such a wonderful woman? I was so happy that I bragged to my late mother that night in front of the Buddhist altar, even showing her the picture I had taken with Sumire. Sumire was as good a young lady as I had thought she was when I first met her.
I heard that you like sweets, so if you would like.
Oh, Momosero's sponge cake! I'm so happy!
I also found this flyer. It looks like Wide Hotel is having a strawberry fair.
Sounds delicious!
Would you like to go with me? I love strawberries.
Yes, let's go. I love strawberries too. It was like having a real daughter. I was getting on a roll, and the two of us were going out frequently.
Stop hugging Sumire all the time, Mom!
You're right. Sorry about that. After discussing it with everyone, Yamato and his father decided to come with us as well. We decided to have lunch at a recently opened Japanese restaurant. It happened on the way home.
That was delicious!
The sashimi was superb!
The dessert was delicious too.
Yeah, I want to come back. While we were having a good time,
Oh, look out!
Sumire suddenly ran out.
Ah!
Sumire!
Oh no! Sumire protected a girl who was walking in front of her and got soaked.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was my fault.
It's okay. I'm glad you didn't get wet. Watch out for the cars on the way back.
Yeah, thank you.
She got herself soaking wet and muddy, but she saw the girl off with a smile. I was so moved by Sumire's kindness that I approached her, offering her a handkerchief. What is that? I found a tattoo on Sumire that showed through her wet shirt. I was so shocked by the tattoo spreading across her back that I couldn't even remember how I got home from there. Yamato knows about the tattoo. Why didn't he tell me? My father couldn't see the tattoo, so I was left to agonize over it alone. I remember the time when Yamato went astray for a period of time. Was Sumire one of his friends when he was a degenerate? Was it a lie that they met at work? Maybe she was in a ladies' club or something. Bad thoughts kept coming and going. Sumire, with no regard to my feelings, kept asking me to have lunch with her in her usual tone. I was feeling unsettled, so I declined the invitation appropriately. And a week passed. That day was my birthday, but when I came home after work in a gloomy state,
Sorry, I came without an appointment. I heard it was your birthday today.
I can't send her back now since she came all the way. I led her through to the living room and made her a cup of tea. I made a fake smile, but I'm sure she's smart enough to know that it was a fake smile.
This is your birthday present. It's a Japanese macaroon from Umaseto.
Oh, thanks.
Is something wrong? You've been avoiding me lately.
No, it's nothing.
Did I do something rude? Please tell me.
Sumire leans forward with a serious expression on her face.
If I marry Yamato, you'll become my mother-in-law. I like you. I don't want to be disliked by my mother-in-law.
I wondered what to say, but I opened my mouth boldly. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. I could no longer trust you for keeping quiet about something so important.
What?
It's about the tattoo on your back. Sumire's face turned pale.
I'm sorry. Yamato told me not to tell you yet, so I kept quiet. I see I made you feel distrustful towards me because of that.
After Sumire apologized deeply, she told me about the tattoo. It was not at all what I imagined it to be.
I had an older sister. My parents left us siblings with a sitter and worked all the time. For me, it was as if my sister was the only family I had. We both helped each other to survive. But then my sister, in an accident.
Her sister died in an accident when Sumire was 15 years old.
I was in shock. I couldn't get over it. And all my parents would say was, don't worry about someone who's gone and forget about it.
That's terrible.
It was my friends at school who supported me through my grief. When I saw that one of my friends had the name of a deceased grandmother tattooed on her arm, I remembered that my sister had a tattoo of something that resembled her and me.
Sumire gently took off her shirt, revealing her back. Blooming on her white skin was a bouquet of lilies and violets.
My sister's name is Yuri.
So that's what it was about. And the state?
The day my sister passed. This tattoo makes me feel like she's watching over me by my side. I knew that tattoos were not accepted in Japan, but I couldn't get rid of it.
I was speechless in front of Sumire, who was crying. After we both cried for a while, I apologized to her, saying I was sorry. I accused you without knowing your past. I am very sorry. I'm not a good mother-in-law.
No, it's my fault for not telling you. I'm really sorry. Mother-in-law, if you don't like the idea of having a daughter like this...
Of course not! You are a fine woman. If anything, you're almost too good for Yamato.
Mother-in-law!
But there are many people in Japan who don't like the idea of tattoos. And you want to have children, don't you? Then I think it would be better to hide it.
Yes, of course.
It's okay. The baby wants to go to the pool or the beach, I'll go with them. I'll even take them to the hot springs. I may look like this, but I'm still young.
Mother! I'll be counting on you when the time comes then.
You can count on me, so don't worry about anything anymore and come to us as a bride. I'll be waiting for you.
Yes, thank you.
Later, Yamato officially proposed to Sumire, and Sumire came again to greet us. At that time, my father was also present and we talked about the tattoo.
A tattoo? I can't believe you kept such an important thing a secret!
I'm sorry.
Grandpa, stop it! It's not Sumire's fault. I told her to keep quiet until we were engaged.
Why?
I thought if I told you first, I thought you wouldn't approve of our marriage.
Yamato wanted us to understand Sumire's personality first.
How was it when you actually talked to Sumire? She's a fine woman, isn't she? Grandpa, you were always saying, when is Sumire coming next, weren't you?
Well, that's...
When I went astray, you and Mom believed in me and waited for me to grow up. Because you two can see people for who they truly are. I believed that you would understand.
My father's not so stubborn or old-fashioned that he would object to what his grandson told him. After closing his eyes for a moment to compose himself,
You're right.
and mumbled,
Indeed, Sumire is a very good woman. She's almost too good for you. Yamato, Sumire, I'm sorry. I just reflexively yelled at you when I heard about the tattoo. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry too for keeping quiet all this time.
I told you to keep quiet so you don't have to apologize, Sumire. With that being said, Grandpa, Mom, we're getting married.
Please, take care of us.
Sumire, take care of our bunny grandson.
he went astray for a time, but he's a very good kid at heart. Please take care of him.
Yes, I love Yamato, including his slightly reckless side.
Everyone laughed when Yamato said, "What do you all take me for?" Afterwards, we sat around the dinner table in celebration. I've been trying so hard to raise my child since my husband left. My parenting was a great success because a wonderful woman named Sumire is marrying him, right? I'm sure my mother in heaven will say, "You did a great job." 6 months later, Yamato and Sumire got married. My father and I are both elated at the birth of their adorable child.
Look, Yurina! It's your grandfather!
Dad, your face is so close. You'll scare Yurina.
It's okay. Yurina loves her grandfather too.
And may this peace last forever. Sumire, please continue to build a wonderful family with Yamato.
My name is Shintaro Ueno. I've always loved drawing, and after graduating from college, I joined a design company. I wanted to be able to make use of my drawing skills at work, and one day became independent and make a living just from drawing. That's what I wanted to do. I wonder if this dream will end up being a dream. That day, I was having a drink with my friend from my college days, Kyoichi Imada. What's the matter, Shintaro? You seem more down than ever. Work is so rough. What? You got an annoying supervisor or something? It's the boss. He says things like, "Worthless nerd," and "Even a kindergartner can draw like this." Are you serious? That's awful. Kyoichi is right. Matsuo, the boss of the company I work for, is the worst. He's arrogant, probably because the web design company he started in his 20s has taken off and he's getting a lot of attention in the industry these days. He's the type of person who releases stress within the company because he makes a good face to his clients and picks on me since I'm an easy target for being plain and dull. If you don't like it, just quit. We're still young. I had a hard time job hunting, you know? I can't quit. I don't even know if I could find another job. I guess so. It's not easy to get a new job with the recession. Seeing Kyoichi and complaining was my way of relieving stress. But all the stress I relieved would fill up on Mondays. Matsuo, the boss of the company, got involved with me as soon as he saw me that day as well. Hey, Ueno! Didn't I tell you to use blue here? Why are you using red? That's because the client said this fits their image better. If I say it has to be blue, it's blue. Red stands out, but it's tacky. Blue is more in line with the corporate image in the long run and will attract a steady stream of customers. But the client... It's your job to convince the customer as well. And I don't want the hassle of having to make revisions after. Now go recommend blue to them. After saying that, Matsuo quickly left. Even if you tell me that, however, it was the boss's order, so there was no other choice. I contacted the client reluctantly, and the client said, "If you don't listen to our wishes, we're done." They're going to cut the contract if we didn't listen. I quickly reported it to Matsuo just in case, but... What are you doing? After a long and heated scolding, we both went to apologize to the customer with a folded envelope, and finally decided to change the design to a red base. Told you so. But Matsuo is not a man of common sense. We're in this mess because of you. But I told you repeatedly that we should respect the client's wishes. Shut up.
Don't you dare talk to me like that, you dull nerd. In the end, he blamed me for everything. This is when he started coming at me harder and harder. To my design proposal, he would say things like, "What is this, a doodle? Take the work seriously," and throw it away on the spot. He would curse at me in front of all the employees, saying, "Characters created by otaku are awful and won't sell." I endured it desperately, but by the time 6 months had passed, my stomach ached in the mornings, and the mere sight of Matsuo's face made me nauseous. Even under those conditions, Matsuo chuckles at me and says, "No way, a child's doodle like this is not going to pass. Redo it." With that, he threw away my design proposal without even taking a good look at it. But look carefully. I put a lot of effort into every detail of the character. If I say no, it's no good. If you're going to challenge me, I don't need you anymore. Get out of my face. I'm tired of looking at your bitter face. Okay. There's no reason for me to stay here after being told that. I'll quit. Yeah, go ahead. You can draw your own designs and awful illustrations all you want. That's how I quit the company. I'd reached my limit. Oh, so you finally quit? Yeah, I quit without even knowing what I'm gonna do next. I didn't want to worry my parents, but... Why don't you come work for us then? What? Your company? I'm actually going independent. Really? That's great! Congratulations! Thanks. Which is why I've been looking for a replacement for me at my current company. What do you think, Shintaro? I'd appreciate it if they hire me, but I'm not sure I'm the right person for the job. Don't worry, I know your talent's better than anyone, and our boss is an adult, unlike yours. I was skeptical, but I was given an interview through Kyoichi's introduction, and just as he said, I was hired without a hitch. And that's how I got hired at Kyoichi's company. Although it's a designing job, we work at a small print shop, and it's clearly on a smaller scale than my previous company. But the boss is a mild-mannered man. He doesn't yell at me like Matsuo did. When I told him that I wanted to become an independent illustrator someday, he told me I should practice illustration in my free time. I think the boss had heard from Kyoichi about my situation at my previous workplace. I'm sorry about that, but it's okay to take it easy and go at your own pace here, he told me. I have to respond to the kindness of the boss. I'll do a good job and get this boss's approval. I worked even harder. Oh, I know, the flyer you designed the other day was very well received by our clients. Is that so? That's great! They asked us to do the next flyer for the summer sale. I'll ask you to come up with another good one. Yes, sir! I'll do my best! Every time an additional order came in or a new request came in by word of mouth, the boss would praise me. Sometimes he even bought me dinner as a reward for my hard work. Thanks to this environment, I gradually regained my confidence. I was told that I could draw illustrations whenever I was free, so I was able to draw while I would wait for a client's reply. I guess this peace of mind showed in my illustrations as well. When I posted my work on social media, I got more positive feedback than ever before. I got a lot of encouraging comments, which gave me more confidence in my drawings. It's all thanks to you, Kyoichi. I'm having fun every day now. Thank you so much. Don't worry about it. More importantly, a friend of mine is planning something like this. Character design for a new anime? You should apply too. They say you can apply on social media. Sounds fun. Thanks. I'll give it a try. I honestly didn't think they'd choose me. I would be happy enough if my work catches the attention of an animation company, so I applied. But this project was decided by vote, and to my surprise, I got the most votes. It was a short 5-minute video, but the character I drew was animated. This led to another video production company approaching me and asking if I would be interested in doing full-fledged character design work for them. Of course I said yes! Momentum is a powerful thing, and the animation became viral on video sites. There was talk about turning it into a book if it became a hit, so the manga hit the bookstores, albeit in small numbers. Since the character's original design was mine, my name was written in the book as well. How is it possible for things to move so fast? I'm kind of scared. What are you talking about? It's the result of your hard work, isn't it? It's all thanks to you for making me grow.
I really appreciate it. No, I didn't do anything. But if you're so grateful, Ueno-kun, can I ask you to do me a favor? Yes, anything! Can I get your autograph? 10, if you can. I'll sign 100, 200, however many you would like. After that, I was able to make a living with my illustrations. It was hard on my time and energy to do both jobs, so I decided to quit the printing house. The boss sent me off with a smile and said, "I wish you all the best," which seriously made me cry. 1 year later, I was at an art exhibition. I was here on business at a gathering of production and design companies, and I ran into the worst person. Oh, look who it is, Ueno. I didn't know you were still in this industry. It was Matsuo, the guy who called me a worthless nerd and drove me to quit the company several years ago. It's been a few years now, but just looking at his face made me break out into a sweat. I'm even getting sick to my stomach. But I'm not the same guy I used to be anymore. It's been a while. Thanks to you, I've been able to make it in the business. I bet you're still in the bottom of the pile. Guys like you are a liability to the industry. Get out of here. You're nothing but a worthless nerd. Matsuo-san, you're in the industry and you don't know who I am? Or maybe it's because I work under a pseudonym. Huh? What are you saying? Then Kyoichi interrupted. By the way, Shintaro, I heard that the manga you designed is going to be made into a TV anime. Wow, congratulations! You did it! He's not the kind of guy who usually interrupts conversations. Maybe he noticed that the guy I was talking to was the sarcastic asshole of a boss that I've complained a lot about, and said it on purpose. I responded loudly, thanking him with all my heart. Oh yeah, I came here today to make that round of greetings as well. Even though it's gonna run late tonight, there's so many people to greet me when it's an anime. I glanced at Matsuo. His eyes were black and white, and his mouth was open so wide it looked like his jaw was about to come off. Anime? The character you drew in an anime? That's right. My name is Shintaro. I'm working as a character designer. Shintaro? No way! The guy from the hit video? Oh, you know about it? Yes, I design characters for multiple channels. And now I've been asked to do work on a PR anime for the government. The government? I'm glad I was able to prove that even a nerd can do it. It's all true, but it's nice to be able to say it for show. Matsuo, who was frozen by my change. Please provide us with illustrations! Your name value! Our company can get back up on its feet! We're having a hard time running our business right now! Matsuo was clinging to me so desperately that I wanted to keep him on his toes and tease him. But I stood up quickly and said with a smile, "No thanks. I don't ever want to see your face ever again. Bye!" But please do something about that. Shintaro, it's almost time. Yeah, I was to be interviewed on stage afterwards, so I ignored Matsuo, who collapsed on the floor and left the scene. Later, I heard from a rumor that Matsuo's company actually collapsed. Apparently, all the good employees quit because they couldn't stand Matsuo's sarcasm and abuse. And those people spread the word that it was better not to join that company, which resulted in a shortage of employees. Well, he had it coming. I'm an illustrator, and I'm busy working every day. My motto is to be humble and not conceited so I don't end up like Matsuo. I must do my work to repay Kyoichi and the boss for all their support. I will continue to work diligently.